Basil is a kind of herbs that's very easy to grow. Most of basil, the technique how to grow is the same. Sweet basil, lemon basil, and Italian basil. The way to grow them, take care of them, very similar. This one is Italian basil. To grow basil, if you grow well, take care of them well, it can last for more than 2 years. Some of them can last for 3 years. We can start from sow the seeds in the ground, and then they will sprout. The beginning of basil leaves will look like this, look different from many plants. When it takes about 5 days, they can sprout, and when they're tall enough, about 2-3 inches, we can pull them up and then transplant them. Grow them a little bit far apart, at least 2 feet far apart, because the shade of the basil is quite big. And the season to grow basil in tropical country, we don't grow in rainy season much because we have more disease in rainy season. But in cold climate, you need to grow them in summer mainly. Except if you have a greenhouse, you can grow all year round. And how to harvest them? The most important thing is don't let them have flowers. This is the beginning of the flowers. Whenever we see our basil start to have tiny flowers come up, we need to pick them. How to harvest the basil? The most important thing is choose the branches that is still soft. Break where it's still soft and crispy. If it's tough, don't break it. So this is soft, and then whenever we break it, we need to leave 2 shoots leaf at the branches like that. So they will grow back in the next 1 or 2 weeks. You can harvest them again. Whenever if we leave the flowers grow big and getting older and older, the basil will start to have smaller shoot after that. They will produce less than normal. The most popular way to eat basil is to make pesto. Pesto is very easy. You just need fresh basil and fresh garlics and nuts. It can be cashew nut or no. The original one they use pine nut. You need more oil. You can use olive oil, sesame oil, or coconut oil. It depends on how you like it. Salt, pepper. That's all we need. We can use blender or food processor. If we don't have anything, pestle and mortar is work also. So it's very simple. Just put everything in the blender and blend it. And after that, you can add more oil. If it's harder to blend, harder to work with, add more oil. Adding more oil, it make it easier for the blender to work. But food processor, you don't need to add a lot of oil. But to add more oil, it make it taste good also. You can add salt and pepper later, or you can blend one at a time. It depends how do you like it. It's no problem. When you finish blending together, mix it together very well, blend it very fine, it will look very nice green color. When it's done, it will look smooth like this. I don't like to make it too thick because when we spread on bread or when we mix with another food, it's not easy. And then taste it. You can add more salt or pepper, or you can add more limes or something like that, or lemon. Just make the taste as you want. Normally when I cook, I don't like to have recipe. because I can make the taste as I want easily. If I want it's very nutty, I just add more nuts in there. If I want it thinner, I just add more oil. So it depends on how you like it. Pesto is so simple and easy, but so delicious. I don't want to watch any part of the blender with pesto in there. I need to lick all of it. I love pesto with spaghetti a lot because it's so easy way to cook, because you just boil spaghetti and add olive oil in there, it will not stick, and then you can add pesto in there. You can eat it anytime. So pesto can keep for many days. And another way to eat basil that I like the most is to eat it with tomatoes. Tomato, most fresh mozzarella cheese, olive oil, basil, salt, and pepper. That's very simple and easy to make. We make like a sandwich like this. Sometimes you can add more thing in there. I like to add some cucumber or some green onion sometimes. It's very easy. This is the real fast food for me to cook. Just slide them and put on top of each other and pour olive oil on top, salt and pepper. That's all. That's very easy, but it's so good. Whenever we pick it fresh from the garden, it's unbelievable. So I can eat 2 plates like this alone easily. It's so yummy. This is our easy lunch for us. We just pick basil, tomatoes, and cucumber, lettuce, and kales, many things from our garden. And when we eat everything fresh, pick them and eat them. Don't keep them in the refrigerators. The taste is so different. It's totally different from what we bought from the market. Even it's the same variety, but it's different. The basil has some unique aroma that's very attractive. It makes me feel mouthful when I smell it. All kind of basil is very unique. I don't like to cook basil much because when we eat it fresh, it's so powerful, so strong taste. I love it a lot. So in Thailand we eat a lot of fresh basil. All kind of basil we eat fresh a lot there. So we have sweet basil, lemon basil, or hot basil. We eat fresh as a vegetable. And sometimes we can add in salad bowls also to make more flavors, to make more smell, diversity of smell. I think the smell of basil is very powerful. Every time when I smell it, I feel hungry immediately. We use many kind of basil for healing also, because basil is good for fever, normally fever or cold, especially tulsi or hot basil. We make tea from it or we eat them, put in the soup, or we can eat it fresh. It helps us to relieve fever and cold very well. If you grow basil 1 or 2 plants, that's enough. If you grow more than that, it's too much to eat them all. Try it, you will love it.